Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into a pretty ruthless strategy. Keeping your true intentions completely hidden, like invisible.
Yeah, the idea is pretty simple at its core. If people can't figure out what you're actually doing, they can't defend against it.
Right, you can lead them way off track before they even realize what's happening.
Exactly, until it's way too late.
Okay, so let's start with the first tactic here, the decoy. Using things like red herrings or fake goals.
Decoy to objects of desire. It's about using false sincerity, maybe ambiguous signals, anything to cloud the picture.
So the other person just can't quite nail down what you really want, but doesn't that sometimes just look clumsy or obviously manipulative?
It can, yeah, if done badly. The successful ones make it subtle. They confuse the target, make them second guess.
We see a great example of how not to do it, or maybe where it breaks down, with the Marquis de Sévigné trying to woo that countess.
Oh, right. Ninon de L'Enclos' protege. He was doing everything right initially, according to her coaching.
Yeah, distance, nonchalance, making her jealous, being unpredictable. The whole seduction was built on suggestion, right? Confusion.
Precisely. And Lenclos pointed out the exact moment it fell apart. It was when he uttered the, quote, fatal word love.
So revealing his genuine intention, that was the mistake.
That was it. The spell shattered. All that mystery, that charm he'd built up, suddenly just seemed, well, ugly and conniving, as she put it.
Because the game was revealed, she felt used.
Exactly. The confusion, which was his power source, vanished. He showed his hand and lost.
Okay, so if Sévigné failed by revealing truth, let's flip that. Look at someone like Otto von Bismarck.
A masterclass in the opposite approach. He desperately wanted war with Austria to unify Germany, but Prussia wasn't ready back then, around 1850.
The military needed time, so what did he do?
He threw up a massive public red herring, gave this incredible speech arguing against the war he secretly planned, praised Austria, talked peace.
Wow. Total misdirection.
Completely threw everyone off. The king loved it, thought Bismarck was a voice of reason, promoted him.
Giving him the power he needed to eventually.
Build the army and crush Austria years later, the very enemy he'd publicly defended.
Okay, so that's the decoy, even a huge public one. But let's move to part two. The smokescreen. This feels a bit different, more about lulling people.
Yeah, it's about using the familiar, the mundane, even playing into expectations to hide your real actions. People can generally only focus on one big thing at a time.
Right, exploit their focus. The Haile Selassie versus Balcha of Sadamo case in 1927 seems perfect here. Selassie seemed, what, mild-mannered?
Wispy even? Well, Balka was this powerful, suspicious warlord, always expecting a trap.
And Selassie used that paranoia, didn't he? The banquet invitation.
Exactly. He knew Balcha would suspect an assassination attack, so he leaned into it. Let Balcha bring 600 armed guards, treated him with immense, almost over-the-top honor at the meal.
Creating this visible, expected threat, the banquet itself as the smokescreen.
Because while Balcha and his guards were fixated on that, the real action was happening miles away.
What was happening?
Selassie's ally had surrounded Balcha's main army, all 10,000 of them, and wasn't fighting them.
Ro?
No, just buying their weapons. Gold, cash on the spot for every rifle. Disarmed the entire force without a single shot fired.
Wow. So Balcha's sitting at dinner worried about poison while his army just evaporates.
Checkmate. He had to surrender. He was so focused on the smokescreen, he missed the actual quiet destruction of his power base.
It really drives home how much people rely on appearances, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Which is why sometimes the best cover is a bland, unreadable exterior. Think Talleyrand, maybe FDR. Or even pretending to support the opposite cause, like Bismarck.
Because being overtly secretive just draws attention, makes you look suspicious.
Right. Better to hide in plain sight. And the really masterful players, they weaponize honesty itself. They cultivate this air of real sincerity, maybe transparency, in one area.
To cover up major deceptions somewhere else, honesty is the ultimate decoy.
Precisely. That unreadable, maybe slightly dull exterior works well over a lifetime for continuous cover.
Though sometimes you see the opposite, right? That very conspicuous, flashy move, like charlatans use, a big spectacle to distract briefly.
True, that has its place for short-term distraction. Holds everyone's attention for a crucial moment.
So, wrapping this up, it leads to a kind of provocative thought for you, the listener, to consider.
Given that most people are pretty much open books, and we tend to trust outward sincerity, what small, maybe genuinely heartfelt, but ultimately insignificant thing could you share publicly?
Something to really emphasize your sincerity.
Yeah, to build that trust while maybe setting up the perfect, most convincing decoy for what you really want to achieve.